Hello! I am so done with this week. I'm so ready for the weekend. And I thought this whole week so far has felt like it's gone by so fast. And like I literally like started today and it felt like Tuesday when it was Wednesday, which is great. I was so excited. I had so much energy this morning. And then just a weird kerfuffle happened with like a manager today at work. And I've just emotionally just deflated that I've been like, you know what? I'm done with this week. I'm really just not feeling it anymore. But the day is over, thank God. I thought I was gonna have to start stream later because I was literally leaving work. I was on the way home and I was stopped at a stoplight and I got a text from, it's not even my manager, it's this like secondary manager who I also have to like beck and call with, who was like, I sent you an email at 1 p.m. today and I was hoping you would have responded by now. Can you get back to me in the next hour? And I was just like, ah. I had been checking my inbox all fucking day. So I was like, this better be a situation where we responded and she just wasn't aware, or she didn't send us anything, because there was no way it was just in our inbox all day and no one noticed. There's no way that happened. Thankfully, I was right, and we had responded to her already hours ago, so I didn't have to do anything outside of open my laptop, get logged back in, and determine that, no, we're good, we're fine, you need to check your inbox more. Oh my god, I'm just done. I'm just done with this week. Done with this nonsense. There's been just a lot of just little nonsenses happening at work this past month, and I'm just done with it. A nice thing though that I did at work today, when I was like stepping back mentally because I was just sick of dealing with people today, I finally signed up for my 401k. I finally got that set up after months of being eligible and just not, because I was like, I need to build back up personal finances for a little bit after the whole not having a job for about 6 months, which was not fun. But I'm in a position now, thankfully, where I feel like I can set that up again, and we will see the next time I get a paycheck where that's active. We'll see how bad it is. I may have to go down. Yeah. Thank you for a subscription! Oh my goodness, hello! How are you doing today, Honks? In this, what I'm assuming is late evening for you. Me with my early evening. Doing okay. That's good. My hand is being weird right now, and I don't know why. Like I have like, yeah, I have to go to bed. Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but like, you know when you crack your knuckles, or like you bend a finger back and you maybe hear it like crack a little bit? I don't know what it is, but with this finger right here, this like ring finger on my left hand, but I still gotta get ready for bed, so I'm here for a few. Yeah! I'll probably do your Among Us first once I get started, since, yeah. But I've got this weird thing where if I, like, fold my finger back, it's, like, all of them are normal. And then no matter what, when I fold back this finger, like, the knuckle, not like the knuckle on the palm, but, like, this middle knuckle, when I fold it back enough, it, like, it's not crunching, but it's like popping. I don't know what it is, but it's different. It's distinctly different from the rest of my fingers, and it's like it irks me in a way that I don't understand, but like I keep doing it because my brain is like, if I keep doing it, it'll be like a finger pop and it'll stop. And then it doesn't, and I'm just like icking myself out doing this over and over. And every once in a while I notice it and I'm like, hey. But yeah, I am like emotionally done with this work week, and I am so excited for this weekend because I'm hoping to go to a Saturday market nearby because I feel well enough to be in the world again. And I feel like, because I've got negative COVID tests now, which is great. And I wanna be in the world. I wanna go on a bus again and purchase items. We have a Ren Fair on Saturday. I'm jealous. That sounds awesome. One of these days I'm gonna go to a Ren Fair. I haven't yet, but one of these days I will. Some friends of mine went recently and I was like, I wanna go. The big thing is I purely don't know around me where Ren Fairs are. I bet they're around because there's a lot of nerds around me, and I imagine there's a lot of space where a good Ren Fair could be set up. I just have never bothered to look them up in the first place. So that's my biggest barrier, is me. Me is the problem. But I'm excited for you. I hope you have a fantastic time, and I hope you purchased cool, epic items. Because that is always a thing that I'm jealous of when I see people come back from Ren Fairs, is what they bought. Because it's normally very cool. And everybody's always like, I didn't mean to, but this thing, I just had to buy it. And it's like, yeah, that's why you're at the Ren Fair, to buy the cool, expensive thing. That's the point. But let me get over to the drawing screen, because I want to draw today. Will not have any cool, expensive thing. Aww. Well, I hope you get to see very cool things. Mostly vibes and food. That's good. I'm actually gonna do the higher version of me standing here. Hopefully next year I'll have my a jester outfit. I hope you will. I just heard a sound effect I wasn't expecting, and I don't know if that was the song or something else. BRB. Alright. Have a good BRB. How long do shoes take to get made? Ooh. I'm now wondering if you are making shoes yourself or if you are getting them commissioned, because the concept of making a shoe sounds like a lot. Okay, I am switching over the screen so I can look at Clip Studio Pro. Actually, I have to first grab the things, because I was like, I'm gonna download these things first and have everything easy to access. And then I didn't do that because I got home and immediately had to jump back onto my laptop, which is always a fun way to spend getting home. It's so hard because Mimi, whenever I get home, is like, oh my god, you've been gone forever. And so she's up in my business when I'm like at my desk trying to do a work thing, and she's on my lap, she's like smooshing up against me, she's like, why aren't you paying attention to me? And it's like, I have to do a thing real quick, I'm sorry. But there's no winning with the little lady. That's just the way of the worm. Literally today, I had 2 meetings today. I had 2 sets of meetings. She was nowhere to be seen, and then each time, like 2 minutes before the meeting starts, all of a sudden she's on my lap, in my business, prancing around in front of the camera. Like, she knows when I have a meeting that's about to happen, because she suddenly decides that she needs to be the center of attention. But it's okay, because I love her, even if she's a nuisance. Okay. I'm actually gonna switch the song, because I think this song is like... it's like, there's sounds that seem like... I think it's supposed to be like a cassette player, but it sounds like a gun cocking. And it keeps startling me. So hopefully this one will be a bit less startling for me. Okay. Get this open. Tiny! Look how little it is! Apologies if I'm a little slow with chat. It's been a while since I've done a drawing stream. Much less a drawing stream when I had a more active chat, so... It's an interesting little juggling act. But we are doing Honk first. So the backstory behind why I have this template in the first place was back during Art Fight this year. I always like to do like joke extra thumbnails. I've been doing it for the past 3 years, this year included. And every year I've done something different. The very first year I just did very quick like scribble doodles. The second year I took a screenshot of like the face of the character I drew and put like stock mouth and eyes on it. And this year I was like, oh, let me like do little Among Us's. So I made a template and threw it onto everybody. So I've got all these past ones over here, which I will not really be showing, but this is the template I work off of. I made this up. Also, let me know if the music is a little loud. I was listening back to the VOD. It looks loud. I think it's better. We'll go with that. I was listening back to the VOD from... not from Monday, from the one-shot stream, and to me it sounded really loud. I was playing the game, and I asked chat, I was like, does it sound loud? And I was like, I heard chat being like, what's a little loud? And so I listened back to the VOD. It was so quiet. It was, I like asked like, is it loud on the one screen that was super loud? And it made everything else very quiet. So I'm like, okay, I think I need background noise to be at like sitting at like 30. Heard your question before I took the headphones off. What was my question? Because I don't recall what it was. So long ago, but I'm drawing you first. I refuse to eyeball colors because I fucking hate doing that, so... We have a follow! Thank you for the follow! I'm gonna pronounce this probably wrong. Jinfar? If you have a different name that you like to go by, do let me know. Because I'm not confident I pronounced your name right, but thank you for the follow! I hope you have a lovely time during the stream today. I think I saw you on Blue Sky earlier today. The name sounds familiar. I heard another button. What happened? Something was redeemed. This is not working well. This is the first time in a long time since I've done a drawing stream, and so like everything is in like different places. I swear I heard a ring. I don't know what happened. The cute satyr. Is GG easy to pronounce? Definitely easier. I'm more confident that I'm saying that right, GG. Well, thank you for stopping by. I've seen on Blue Sky. I feel like I've seen you too on Blue Sky. I can't put a face to you right now, but I feel like I've seen you in my notifications every so often. Also, apologies if I sniffle a little bit. I'm not 100% ever since COVID. And as I was listening back to the VOD yesterday, I was definitely noticing how sick I sounded. So apologies for that. I'm over the hump, but it's a pain. I need to use Blue Sky more. I am too. I definitely still use Twitter primarily, but like I've used like Twitter for so long, and it feels like I feel like I've mostly follow artists on Blue Sky right now, which is fine. But I feel like I like memes as well. And I don't get that as much on Blue Sky because I just haven't followed the right people yet. But I'm also very lazy when it comes to like engaging online. So I'm just like, why won't the stuff I want magically appear on my timeline? Because I've spent years cultivating my shit on Twitter and on Tumblr. But I'm like, a new platform? I also need to see if what size do I have my pen at right now? I think this is my Yoti pen. This almost looks right. Did I almost do the right size immediately? That's too big. Yeah, let's go. God, I was wondering what size that was. Okay. But you have a little tom-tom. You have a little Tommy color. Keep my earlier messages if you need colors. I've downloaded the ref of you from Twitter because I hate color picking based off of I refuse to do it when I'm doing art. So I color pick because I love myself and I don't want to do that. I don't want to guess. Which, like, I'm always surprised when people who are like have some sort of like color blindness and are artists and they're like, man, it's so hard to pick colors. It's like, yeah, I imagine you can color pick. Why don't you do that though? It always surprises me when they do not color pick. Oh wait, let me see. What's more important? The bow is more important, I feel like, visually. The problem with the Amogus is they're hard to do faces for. I'm actually gonna do this. Let me get this outline and then push this blue and then here. We're gonna do an audible. We're gonna do the hair. We're gonna attempt the hair. That's why it's there. Exactly! It's here for a reason. Move you down? I can't. These are locked. Because Past Me tried to be smart and that fucked over Current Me. I appreciate Past Me though. Past Me had a good idea. I shine. What layer do I want to put you on? Nope, nope, nope. We'll put you here and then we'll figure something out. We'll recolor that later. We'll recolor it now, actually. Fuck it. I lied. Sat on the throne of lies. The funny thing about this is because a few weeks ago when I initially, like, came up with the idea for this, like, stream to draw people as Among Us's, completely unrelated, some friends of mine and I have, like, downloaded a mod for Among Us that does proximity chat, and we've just, for a lot of nights a week, have just been playing Among Us, which I hadn't touched in years, or at least a good few years, but it's so funny to be playing again. Like, the worst time to be a chatter, playing a fighting game makes the hands too busy to type. Oh no! Well, I hope you're having fun with your game. What FG? Well, you'll have to explain to me what FG means. Oh, fighting game. You're asking Gigi. I will step out of the conversation. God, I have a coworker who, like, plays competitive fighting games. And it's fascinating to, like, listen to her talk about it, because she, like, runs events at conventions, like, all the time for fighting games. And it's like, holy shit. It is fascinating to hear what the lives people live outside of work. So varied and different. What did I do? Oh, I have to do you. I have to fuss with you. Ah ha 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 ha. Da, 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 da. Used to be melee semi-cop. Ooh. What was your main, or did you have a main? I've mostly played N64 in terms of melee, but even that I was not all that good, and it was just me playing with, like, neighbors growing up. Jigglypuff. Ooh. I don't know much about the competitive scene for melee, but I feel like Jigglypuff is not who I would have guessed to be like a threat to look out for. I want to do you like this. Put this here just in case. Okay. Nope. Generally not, but can be. I feel like any character in theory can be a threat. Depending on how good you are at character. Why did my phone go off? Is it the manager throwing a fit? It's not. We're good. We're safe. My brain is like partially still like waiting for it to suddenly be like, actually, do something right now. It's like, I will kill you. We'll end you. I don't want to do this. This has to go above eye shine. No, don't put it into the eye shine category, but above it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now we get your main in. Hair Tough's my greatest enemy. I'm simply not proficient at them, but boy do I try. I think this isn't floofy enough. Feel free to simplify. I will if I feel like I should. Which I think I'm gonna have to do because I'm not rocking. I'm not feeling what this is. I feel like I need to make these very simple shapes. And like, part of the thing that's been very funny with playing Among Us now is there is so much more going on cosmetically. And they currently have a thing right now with Critical Role where you basically get to unlock outfits of characters. Boy, the outfits are a lot more complicated visually than some of the older ones are. It's interesting to see how things have evolved and changed over the years. The interesting thing is, though, is I've not been able to figure out how to get the pet that is like I've seen so often in like Among Us things. I think it's maybe something that's locked behind like actual money, which I don't care enough about the pets to actually purchase it, but it's interesting to see that. Also, the mods that people have created are just wildly fun. I'm having a very good... There's a hide and seek mod that we found yesterday, where you're just getting chased and you have to hide, and it's very funny. It's the most like intense Among Us has been, in my opinion, at least. Actually, here's a question. Oh, remember my uncle telling me that his youngest coworker was pro-competitive in what I think he wanted to describe as PUBG. I think he was asking me to be less connected with him in the youth. Aw. Do you play PUBG at all? That's something I've been aware of? I'm trying to think, because that's the one where it's like, I think I've seen like a ton of ads about it over the years. But I don't know anything about it. I think I'm gonna have to give up on doing this main. I think I'm gonna take a break and do the bow, because I'm not feeling the hair at all. I'm not doing it right. I have this theory that like in character design, if you want to be able to make a character seem very like friendly or really intimidating at like kind of like I like the drop of a hat, if you want to flip that, the easiest way to do that is to give them like a really big like mane of like hair or fur, because there's something about it where you can really easily make a silhouette seem intimidating with like a big like mane, especially if you like style the hair to be a bit more like spiked out. But then like you see something that's big and fluffy and the brain goes like, big thing, I must pet. So it's something I always find interesting when I see character designs that utilize manes of hair. or fur. I'm just like, you could easily make this be scary or very cute, depending on how you wanted to pivot it. That can be this is just a bow tie now. Good thing I'm both. Big floofy hair. I'm gonna commit to this looking like a bow tie. Just roll with it because that's what's happening now. Big old bow tie. Nope, that is not looking alright. That is a bell, so I'm gonna give you the little thing. Yeah! I feel like you look more like a bear. I don't know why the ears make you look like a bear. Let's go to bed. Well, thank you for stopping by. I'm sorry I couldn't get this finished before. Have you heard of Torbeck the character? Oh, I know you're not a bear, but the way it made your ears makes you look like a bear. I'm sorry. Also, I very much know who Torbeck is. Jesus Christ, am I aware of Torbeck? I get this all the time. Oh no! Well, maybe change your ears if everyone says it looks like a bear. I'm not mad. I'm being. Have you seen? Oh, I see now. I see. It's just the way that I drew it. Well, here's the thing. What is it? What is it? Lions. I've seen a lion. I've made a Leonin character before. Let me see what lions look like. But yes, I definitely know who Torbeck is. He torments me. I was playing it Great Ace Attorney with some friends like last year, and for some reason I decided to do the Torbeck voice and like manner for the judge using the Torbeck voice. It was an interesting time. I was looking like lion. Let's see. His fucking hair is in the way. Can't see this man's ears, he's got too much hair. Okay. I have a thought, and I feel like I'm gonna be right. But I need to look at what bear ears look like first. All my years of doing the thing with the fat bear contest. Okay. I think the reason, at least for me, why at least my interpretation of what your ears look like reads more bear to me is because with like bears, there's like a distinct kind of like ring of fluff, and cats it goes like flat. So it's an easier thing to distinguish when you're looking at like more of like a side angle. But I think that's why at least my drawing right now, to me, reads more bear. But the main the character design is very clearly not a bear. It's just the ears in isolation read to me in this moment as that. You get bear a lot. See, like the big old tail and the paws, like, and the hair, like nothing about this reads as bear except for the ears a little bit. Big floofy. Think about the big fluffy characters and how YouTube Shorts, the animator, ends up doing the big squiggly lines. Yeah, I don't know what that artist is, but it's been so funny, like over time, watching that one animator like really hone in that art style where it's just like everybody's really scrungly. Like their drawing of their interpretation of Bitsy, I adore it. She's such a shape of a person. It cracks me up every time I see her. But yeah, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, hi. I can never remember any of the players' names, but the guy who plays Bitsy, Jesus Christ, the funniest motherfucker. I don't know his name, but every time he's like, I'm gonna do a bit, and I'm like, this is gonna kill me, isn't it? Like, and anytime Frost does anything, it's always the best. It's just he does such a great straight man performance while still being just like the entirety of like my fucking legs. I'm so sad. I have not seen an animation yet of like that bit, but it's It's so funny, and it's just the same thing over and over. It's really good. I almost bought the Frost plushie, a makeshift, a while ago when they were doing that whole like thing, but I did not, because I have to be strong and stop buying plushies because I don't have anywhere to put them currently in my like apartment. I did cave recently though, and I bought the Loop plushie for what's it called? In Stars and Time, because that was just like, I have to have you. I simply must. You're my Blurbo. I just love that little guy. There's something wrong with them and I adore them. Okay. I think we're about done. How big is your plushie collection? Ooh, that's a good question. I think I would have to go into my bedroom and count, because I've just have them on the other side of my bed right now because I don't have a place to put them. Minimum 20. I don't think that's it. I think I have more than that, but they're just around my apartment, and about a third of them are just various clowns of different rapport. But I like plushies, and I have like 3 things I collect. I collect plushies, I collect keychains, and I've been starting to build and collect wooden puzzle sculptures, especially ones with like music boxes inside. I've literally got one. Well, it was near me. I don't know where it went. I have one. There it is. I have one nearby. That's a cello. That's gonna be a music box once I build it. But it's I like them a lot. They're very cool, and I just need to set aside time to build them because they take a hot minute to put together, but they're very fun. You need to be darker, I think, to stand out more against the other line art. Can I make you more purple? Nope, that makes you look more like that. Nope, that's bad. Why is it cutting the cut? You know what, we're gonna keep it like this because this works. Yeah, this is fine. This is good. Okay, I am going to... Oh, the little paws! I need to give you little boots. Let me color this. Real clear. Nope. There we go. We need to give you your little socks. Your little lion socks. Do I put your hat on you? I feel like it's important. Congrats, you will get a hat. I'll do a deeper yellow to draw that, because I think that would make the most sense. I actually need to move this down because it's too high up. For your little hat. There we go. Your little birthday hat. Yeah! Okay. Now we color. I think this will be the last aspect because I was just not feeling the hair, and you know what? Sometimes it's just not a hair day. It's like me when I wake up in the morning and I'm trying to brush my hair, and sometimes it's just deciding it's gonna look stupid for that day. And I have to accept it. Smooth tracking, by the way. Thank you! I use a program called XR Animator that is free, and some type of Dexigo webcam. I don't know what. I forgot off the top of my head, but it has been a long process of me testing out programs that I liked for 3D tracking, and it's really nice because I have like ARKit, basically. Like I can do all this stuff with a webcam. No No iPhone whatsoever. In theory, the iPhone would be a lot better in terms of tracking. But for a basically free option, it's pretty fucking good. It does its job quite well. I won't scoff at that. I was like looking at the prices for like the newest iPhone right now. It's like $1,000. It's a lot of money. Webcam seems like a nice alternative comparison. Yeah, it really is. And I think the one I have is like $40, $50. It wasn't super expensive. And also it helps because I use I do 30 frames a second in terms of the animation of the model. Because with 60 it just kind of looks weird, at least to me. It's a little like, it's like too smooth in a way where if anything gets weird, it's really obvious. And it gets a little weird sometimes because sometimes my GPU gets a little bottlenecked. Because the graphics card I have is okay, but not like as good as I would probably have wanted it to be with this custom build that I put together. But yeah, for like what this setup is, it's been very, very kind for me. And I've been very anal about how I've like set everything up on my back end. iPhone face tracking started with the 10, maybe the best option to find one near that gen. That would be the case, yeah. I've not gotten to the point yet where I really felt like I needed that or like actively wanted it. I also don't know where I would put it. I don't know how people who like use iPhones for these things like actually like make it happen on a technical level. Like, wait. Why is this out of frame? What happened to you, webcam? I think I'm now gonna have to test off of stream what happened because I feel like my hand should not be getting cut off right now. I did some fiddling with the monitor before stream, so I might have knocked something weird. But yeah, I just don't know right now what I would really, how I would even jerry-rig that phone up. And I'm also an Android person, so I'm just like, I don't even want to go back to iPhone. And spending like what, $500 on essentially a camera for a hobby does not seem like a good investment. But if I did this as like more of a profession or had more going on with it, maybe. But right now I cannot really justify it. But I think this is done. Do I do anything else with you? I don't think so. Oh, the outline. I do want to fix up this outline. I want to make this look lineless. Are you getting snuggled up, kitty? Oh, she's curling up and licking her little tail. A little kitty, a little baby kitty. Is this gonna look okay, or is this gonna look stupid? Click here to find out more. Look stupid. We're going back to that line. Change to an entirely different operative system. Yeah. Growing up, I was an iPhone person because I just basically acted as a hermit crab to my sister's old phones. So I would just take their phones when they were done with them. And then when it was finally my turn to have to buy my own phone, because my 6, I think I had an iPhone 6. By the time the software became obsolete, and I was like starting to not be able to do applications, I was just like, I can't use this phone anymore because I'm gonna start not be able to probably just text people after a point. That's why I got a Pixel, and I got the most recent version that still had the headphone fob, which was an older version than I expected, but it was And we're fine for me so far, but yeah, AR kit is not really an option on it. Sadly. Let's get rid of you. Let's make a new base. Get rid of you. How many entries did you get? I get you a fair amount. Not really, honestly. How many did I get on Blue Sky? I got 2 on Blue Sky and 4 on Twitter, so 6 in total. But I realized I was like, oh, there's not too many, so I'm not gonna be like, we gotta go through this quickly today because there's not a ton. But yeah, a little bit. I'm gonna do another Twitter one, and then I will jump over to a Blue Sky one. KimiiKimura. I'm not familiar with you, but your adorable little, like, dog design. Let me get this in. Here we go. Move this up so I can see this better. Yeah, little puppy girl? Question mark. Let me double check what your pronouns are. Not see a designation of gender, but you look feminine, so we'll guess she, her. The safest option if I needed gender you. I'll just do they, them. I need to be better about being neutral about the gender. Now, do I want to go based on your skin tone or based on your clothes? Because you have a very cute little jacket. I'm gonna do your skin tone because I can give you your cute little pants and your little jacket. Why am I not visually processing anything? Where's the drop bucket? There you are. I've had just some weird, like, not processing things today. Like, I keep spacing out and being like, how do I do things? Never heard of doing things ever once in my life. Not ever before. Okay, so you have more of an orange undertone. Brighten you up a little bit. Yeah, okay. You have it's very specific blue eye color, so I'm actually going to pick that up and see how different it is from the eyeball, wherever you are. Oh, what have I done? I'm actually going to do a color over this because this will be easier. It's a little desaturated, but it's fun. The whole color scheme actually is pretty desaturated. Actually, let me see if I... What is the saturation? So this is this brown, and this is... No, it's about the same color. This one's actually a little more saturated. Let me actually pick up this blush right here and actually do a little thing that I remember seeing them do in the Amoguses yesterday. Gonna deepen this a little bit, make it a little more red. Up the saturation. Little blushies for ya, because those are cute. Okay, first things first, we're giving you pants. Because the character design is want of pants. Little booty shorts. Remember the very first time I got a pair of booty shorts, I didn't realize how, like, they were supposed to, like, fit, so I pulled them down, like, really far. I didn't realize it was supposed to, like, fit more like a high-waisted thing. And I was like, oh, I get it now. Just, like, in the ass crack. I see. I've learned. Mood with the pauses, sometimes brain turns off executive function. Yeah. And I didn't deal with much brain fog when I had COVID, But after COVID, I've been like just dealing with these patches where I'm just sitting there like I kept having moments today where my brain just stopped like thinking. I was either like got very just distracted with a thought or was just completely gone. But boy, has it been annoying. I've been getting a lot better sleep this past month though, so that's definitely been helping. But I'm not immune to having a lapse in brain every once in a while as a treat. What is happening with these lines? Interesting. But you feels down. Yeah, that's fine. Glad you're the COVID. Thank you. I had managed to dodge it all of these years, and then I had to go to a work event for a weekend. And lo and behold, no one masked. And I masked. And I got it. And I was annoyed, and I was not able to go on another work trip this past weekend, or just past week. But I was able to catch up on a lot of work stuff that I was behind on, so it was a bit of a blessing in disguise. But boy, it was very annoying, and it sucked a lot, even with being very vigilant with boosters all these years. It is not a joke. Not fun. But I am feeling better, thankfully. And you know what? At the end of the day, that's all we can really ask for. Especially with how bad things can get with it. I was a bit worried though, because I've heard of long COVID for so long, and like you can be like perfectly fine before you get it. Like you can have no comorbidities. And then you can get COVID once and you're just completely fucked. And so far, thankfully, that doesn't appear to be the case for me. And I was having these weird things where every morning I would wake up and I would have like a sore throat for like an hour, and then I'd be fine afterwards. I could take like a cough drop and I'd be fine in like an hour or so. But I was a bit nervous. So I was like, if this is forever, that's gonna be annoying. But then it so far seems fine. So we'll take that as a win. And get my booster shots next week, because I was gonna get my flu shot and my booster shot a couple weeks ago. And then the day before, I was like, I feel bad. And my guess is it's probably the Riz. My manager was like, oh, it probably won't be, but let me know if it is. And I was like, I think it is. I have a feeling. I'm suspicious. Because I feel bad in a way that's brand new. And I was right. I was correct. Actually, no, this is a lighter color down here. Scary that some effects take a while to heal. Yeah, and like, I'm still a little sniffly, like my throat, my voice is still a little bleh. But I'm taking it slow. I am not pushing myself as much as I physically can prevent. There you go. Little cheekies, okay. But yeah, like my manager was like, hey, maybe if you feel a bit better by Friday, you can still go on the trip. I was just sitting there like, even if I feel perfectly fine on Friday, I was like, I don't want to push myself into a situation where I'm going somewhere new that I haven't been before, introducing to brand new things, brand new diseases maybe. And unsurprisingly, a lot of people came back from the trip sick. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad I didn't go, because I would have gotten really sick, probably even more, with a compromised immune system. So I'm not too mad about everything kind of falling to shit just before. I doing the right colors? I don't think so. I dodged the bullet. Yeah. And like another aspect of it too was that I would have had to, like, for a good portion of the trip, be wearing like business professional clothing on top of feeling sick. Hell, I already hate having to wear anything beyond comfy clothing at the best of times. Are you expecting me to be a professional business person? No. Absolutely, absolutely not. It didn't have to get the stomach flu. It did not have to get having to wear a suit when I feel like hell. Gotta look for the positives, even if they are a little silly at times. Okay. I think we're gonna do some doggy ears on this one, and then actually I'm gonna convert this backpack into a with tail, I think. That's something I've noticed in like Among Us designs, is they don't really do much with the backpack from what I've seen. The backpack is either just completely covered by clothing or it's just there. They don't really do anything with it or like just reskin it, I've noticed, which is an interesting distinction. Oh, you're supposed to have a little tube top. Let me just do that real quick. Ooh, something I'm very excited about that got showcased yesterday, I think? The upcoming Professor Layton game got another teaser trailer. And one, literally anything they could say about the game, I would be like, woo! But the villain's a ghost cowboy, which is not what I expected in steampunk America. New trailer? Yeah! At least in the Japanese translation, I don't know if it's gonna be the same or different in the American translation, is called Gunman Cowboy King Joe, I think? Missed the event, gotta watch the VOD. It's if you look up on YouTube, like if you look like Professor Layton trailer, you definitely see it. But it's interesting. I'm still a little hesitant on the way that the game has been visually converted to 3D. It's not hitting the same beats for me that I really liked about the 2D style of the older games, but I'm still holding out hope. I'm still excited. It's still definitely a visual remnant of the older games, but it's interesting. And they're definitely leaning into the capabilities they have with the 3D technology, with the Gunman Cowboy King Joe. So I'm very curious to see how that character continues to be an aspect of the game. We still don't have a release date yet, we just have a year. So they continue to tease me. I am deprived. I want my game. It's been so long. Which technically I should use this time to play the last 2 games of the prequel trilogy, which I haven't yet, but I have on my 3DS. And I need to, and I keep not playing them even though I hear that they're great. Won't complain, I was almost losing hope no the late game would happen. I was too! I just assumed they were done when they were like doing this stuff with the daughter. And when I heard about New World of Steam last year, I about lost my mind. Like, literally anything. And apparently this game is supposed to have the most amount of puzzles compared to any other past title. Which could mean anything in terms of quality of them, but I'm excited. I have faith. I think the last Layton game I played, I can't remember if it was the Spectre's Flute or if it was the Ace Attorney crossover, but I still will posit that the crossover game was a great Ace Attorney game and a really mid Layton game. At least in terms of the puzzles. The puzzles were not up to what I would want, but you know what? They did their best. And it was a really great experience. It was a really great Ace Attorney experience as somebody who had never played the Ace Attorney before. And it encouraged me to play great Ace Attorney years later, and I had a fantabulous time with that. And I'd never played any other Ace Attorney games before, and so when I heard people say that the Great Ace Attorney was the best Ace Attorney game ever, I was like, ooh, I started on the wrong one then, if we're only going down from here. But I should play those games at some point. I have them in my Steam. I need to just play them at some point. Let's see, this is a brown ear with yellow spots, so I will give you brown ear, yellow spots. Is there anything else I want to do on you before we're done? Oh, the tail, yes. It's a brown tail with yellow spots, so we'll do that. I think this is about good. Oop, ad time. Ew. Ads are cringe. Has it already been an hour? I can't see. I can't see how long it's been with my shit off to the side. We're about done now. It's a yellow tip, so we'll do like this. Yeah, I think that's cute. Little guy. You don't get hair, but that's okay. Among Us don't get hair. I'm actually gonna clean this up a little bit. There we go. I'm also gonna post these later on the Twitters and the Blue Skies once I'm all wrapped up here. I slept in Ace Attorney Trilogy, so didn't touch the crossover. As someone who had never played an Ace Attorney game prior to playing the crossover, I was deeply fascinated with it. It was a really fun way to be introduced to it. Because they obviously, like, you get tutorials and everything, but you get, like, pieces of it, and then you have, like, latent time, so you get... It's definitely a back and forth, but I really liked the crossover pieces. It's from what I have learned, the Ace Attorney games are like, the storytelling is still very much latent, but the, like, court cases, like, they have court cases as they do in Ace Attorney, those are a lot more like Ace Attorney, so it's an interesting blend of both things. But that is KimiiKimura. We're going to jump over to Blue Sky to grab AshaAxle, who has popped into my streams recently and is an absolute delight. I think she said this is her older model, or at least her one that she hasn't updated quite yet. Yeah, I don't have references made up for new design yet, so here's screenshots. Okay. AshaAxle, the one and only. Wait, are you a fox girl? Let me double check what you are. You definitely have Kitsune. I was technically right. Fox. Fox adjacent. Fox-ish. I was about to say, I know a lot of Kitsune VTubers. I know two Kitsune VTubers. That does not mean a pattern. Let me see. I need to duplicate. Here, there we go. Now Ash has a few features, which means it is easier to pinpoint which ones to showcase. I'm gonna go, you have a little bustier, or whatever that's called. I'm gonna go with that for your skin tone. It could be a lot, really. It could. There's just so many VTubers out there in the world now. It cracks me up when people are like, when people make complaints like, oh, all VTubers are the same. It's all only the animes. I wish people would branch out more. It's like, no, they do. There's a lot of indie VTubers who are doing some insanely unique shit. You just have to be willing to branch out. Like I've heard people make complaints about VTubers that makes it so clear that their only interaction with them is at like the corporate level, and it's like, yeah, of course they're not gonna branch out to do weird like things or have like more off-the-wall designs. They're catering towards a very specific audience. They're catering towards an audience that is looking for that like more traditional anime character design. Like even like VShojo, like they have their own niches they fall into. And I sort of, as like a fun little whim, applied to VShojo when they had their applications about a month ago, because I was like, you know what? I'm not getting picked. That's just not happening. But I thought it'd be just kind of fun to do the entry. But I was seeing some other folk who I follow who were like, I applied, but I didn't get it. And they're being surprised by it. And I was like, you know, you're awesome, but I don't think you would be picked just based purely on the vibes you present. Like, they're all very anime. And like, I see like the stylizing and like the way I like to stylize and present my VTuber, and it's like, I'm not getting pulled onto that as like a member of the team. I forget what the right word, a coworker, I guess. Simply not happening, because they have vibes they want to maintain, and I simply would not align with them. We got some sunglasses for you. But yeah, I've seen some wildly creative stuff, because there's one, I forget what their name is, but there is somebody who I saw a while ago who was like a imaginary friend VTuber, and they rigged their design up to like, it's live 2D, but they rigged it up in a way where they could like turn perfectly to the side and you would see like the side of their face. And it was just really cool design, and they were doing stuff like they put the face on their like body cam, and they like were like playing like guitar, and they made a little like live 2D pets that would react to things on stream. It's just very cool. It's interesting. Yeah, I sadly don't remember what their name was, so I can't give them a shout out right now, but it's just very cool stuff. There's just so many cool things happening in the VTubing community. I'm going to assume these are aviators and put this little line here. But yeah, it's a lot of being willing to look into what other people are doing, because there's so many interesting things happening. Make you solid red. Yeah. You go here. You have big boots, so I will give you big boots. I'm also excited because I have to go to the office again tomorrow for work, but I have bartered with myself and I'm going to get pizza afterwards. We have these shops where I live where you can like get the pizza made but not baked, and you take it home and bake it yourself. And it's been a while since I have gotten one of them, but I really like them, so I'm very excited to have a little pizza. But I'm gonna hunt tonight to see if I can find any discounts online. Because I feel like nowadays, like, if you're ordering online, there's always some sort of discount. It's like you just have to... You have to look for those discounts. I was trying to get Domino's delivered yesterday, actually. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I was trying to get delivered, and then it turns out that this place that I live at now, I guess, is too far away from any. Which I looked, and there was one that was 14 minutes away. And I'm like, that's out of your range of delivery? 14 minutes? But to them, I guess. So I guess Domino has decided that if I want pizza from them, I gotta go and pick it up. Which is not happening, probably. There's a comfort one that's an orc, a massive hipster, and his style is sleek, cozy, flat colors, no line weight, simple, interesting. Ooh, do you remember the name? That sounds familiar, but I can't pinpoint. And there's also another one I remember seeing a couple months ago where he's a farmer, and he's very blocking. It's a similar thing where it's like flat colors. I think it's lineless, but looks like a very sweet guy. He's got like turnips. I think his lore is that he's like a turnip that turned into a person. It's very cute. Orc florist. That sounds familiar. Let me color in these boots and then look that up, because that sounds familiar, and I'm gonna lose my mind if I sit here and be like, that sounds familiar, I'll look it up later, and then I forget, because I always do. Let me see. Orc florist. I still have bears up. VTuber. Orc florist. Been on Tumblr. Well, I have been on Tumblr. I've been on Tumblr for a long time. I don't really see VTubers on Tumblr. Haha, big boobs. Oh, they're on Blue Sky. I've never seen this man in my entire life. Interesting. Yeah, I've never seen this guy before, but I've got a friend who loves big orc men who would be into this. Oh, he's got a cardigan! Oh, he looks like a friend. I think you meant Kuni. Yeah, Kuni. Yeah. The farmer guy. This guy's adorable, yeah. Never seen him before. He's got a picture of a cat. I don't know if this is your cat, but I love the photo. Like, sprungly guy. Oh, kitty. Okay, back to it. My problem is I love VTubers, but I'm terrible at watching streams. I never remember to. There's the lion girl. I think she's a lion girl in the recent wave of HoloLive, who I adore her. She's lovely. I see shorts of her all the time on YouTube. I never watch. I think she actually has a stream happening right now from what I was seeing on Twitter, which I was like, that's hilarious that we are streaming at the exact same time, even though I'm pretty sure you live in Italy and I do not live anywhere near that. Yeah, Raura. I heard shorts are often on my YouTubes. It's a delight every time. Need to be erased. Oh, an arm hair caught on my mat on my desk and it was awful. Raura. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's like Raura. If I'm not mistaken, I feel like I've only heard it pronounced like that. If I'm incorrect, then whoops. I used to have the little floose. I do break pasta though, so if for some reason ever collabed with her, I would have to make sure that she never learns of my horrifying pasta ways. Because I have a thing, and it's that I don't like it when the pasta is too long, that like I have to like keep scooping it up in order to get through one bite, because I always bite through the pasta if it's too long for me. So I've just started just breaking it because I like it when it's shorter pieces. It lets me eat it longer because I'm not putting as much in my mouth at once. I have the wrong color. But it does mean that I'm committing crimes that I must take to my grave. There we go. I've done other food crimes as well. I love cooking, but it means that I will sometimes just make really unhinged decisions because I know in theory they will work. Why are you still this color? Make you a darker color. We'll still judge it. That's fine. Not purple, are you? Yes, you are. I'm trying to think what, like, when I've started doing this thing. You know how when you're eating, like, a hot dog?
Into the mouth.
Oh, fuck.
Nice.
Where is my water bottle? Let me get a beverage. Alright, fine, I will self-care for a moment. I don't know where my water bottle is, so I may have to run and grab a cup of beverage. Which is probably smart. I haven't hydrated all day since this morning. Yeah, I'll be right back. Let me grab a cuppa. Ow, my fuck. Can be like that. You run around here half the time too. Tiny kitty. Boop. We're back. I have a cup of Crystal Light raspberry lemonade flavored water. Cause keep a thing in the fridge that has that. Because I hate having to make individual cups. But what was I saying before I tottled off? I had a thought that I wanted to get into. Oh, food crimes, yes. Like, you know how when you have a hot dog, typically, maybe put some ketchup on, maybe some mustard, perhaps some relish. I got turned on to the idea of dipping hot dog in peanut butter, which at first I thought that sounds insane, but might as well try. And then it ended up being quite good, so I've just continued to do so. What I do is I go to Costco and I get their like packs of really big hot dogs that they will like sell at the food court, but that you can just like heat up at home. I'll make one of those, and then I will get a plate, and I will put a little dollop of mustard on one side, and I'll put a dollop of peanut butter on the other side. And I like it because you get the brightness of the bright vinegarness of the mustard, and then you can balance that with the more like heavy richness of the peanut butter, because it's like a peanut butter sauce. Peanut butter is so versatile. And it cracks me up when people are like, oh, peanut butter in a thing. That's not like a dessert thing. Ooh. It's like, no. We can get savory really fast with this. One of my favorite foods is a dish called mafe. And it's like a peanut butter and like beef stew. And it is quite good. Peanut butter is a really great way to incorporate a kind of like rich umami-ness to something. And since it's peanut butter, typically incorporates in pretty well once you like mix it up for a minute. Because it takes a sec typically when peanut butter is incorporated with a liquid to emulsify. But once you do emulsify, it's quite good. But that's why typically if you're working with peanut butter in a food context, it's better to typically get like a peanut butter powder because you're not getting that like weird fat emulsion happening. But like peanut butter on cucumbers that have been quick pickled with some soy sauce, quite good. Quite a treat. Your laces are... Wait, I've misinterpreted. Your laces are brighter than the poop. Let me fix that actually. There we go. Though I think one of the worst food crimes I've actually done, that's actually a food crime, is I was making a hamburger helper once, and I was out of milk, and I did have a canister of whipped cream, and so I compromised. And the worst part was I lived a couple blocks away from a store. I just couldn't be asked to go to the store because I had the whipped cream and it technically worked. I just didn't use as much milk to water as the recipe wanted me to. And you know what? It came out just fine. And no one else ate it but me. And that's the big thing too. I would not have fed that to somebody else, but I was the only one who had to endure it, so it's fine. Why are you not drawing? Oh, you're up here, that's why. There we go. Never thought of peanut butter with meats. It's quite good. Like just take anything that in theory uses a peanut sauce, like it works surprisingly well in my experience. Like I'll just put some peanut butter in like a ramen that I've made at home. Just like a little bit of umami, you get a little bit of that richness to help balance that. Maybe you've put like a little bit too much spice into it, or you want another depth of flavor. Just a little bit. You can fuck up and put too much. You just put a little bit at a time, and you mix it in, you taste it, and you see, do I want a little more? You put some more in. Now these ears look bad. I'm gonna fix them. I think it's because I'm not incorporating the edges enough. Not working. What do you want? What do you want from me? Not this. That's what you want. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. And these ears want to be the same color. Yep, that's what you want. We'll fix you. I don't know why this made me think of it, but boy, I am excited for the Deltarune 3 chapter to come out eventually. Whenever that happens. I'm curious if this is finally gonna be the chapter that Toby Fox starts charging for it. Because the fact that he hasn't charged for chapter 2 after having chapter 1 be free, I'm a bit surprised by it, but I won't question too much somebody not making a charge for something that they've put a lot of time into, and in theory he's probably got a fair amount of money from Undertale. I want to do anything else with this. I want to incorporate the hair, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that in a balanced way. Let me try. Let me just try real quick. Let me attempt. Let me touch the sun. But like game devs that have like really struck gold with their communities, like Toby Fox and Concerned Ape, who I imagine have been successful enough to the point where they can probably just do whatever they want for the rest of their career and be successful. I'm excited to see what projects they keep doing, because it seems to be good work. And Concerned Ape's still got something on the way, if he's still working on Haunted Chocolatier, which I imagine he is. But I'm not seeing any updates from that game in a while, and he kept going back to Stardew Valley and doing more updates after he said he was done, which I won't complain about. The Switch update is finally coming, either just after or just before Election Day, so yeehaw. Okay, I'm happy I did this. I want to give you a bit of gradient. There we go. There we go. This kicks ass. Yeah! Okay, this is good. That's gems. I was chatting with my mod the other day about how I'm excited about the update coming finally to Switch, but I'm not sure yet if I want to start a new game or if I want to just piggyback off of the current, like, perfection farm that I've done. I still have not decided yet, because doing a new farm means I have to motivate myself to play the brand new game from the beginning. And I do not yet know how I'd like to do that. Okay, how long have I been going? Hour and a half. Okay. I think I can knock out. I feel like if I do one more, then I want to do two more. And if I do two more, I'm going to want to do the final third one. So we'll see how I feel about one more. Let's see. Let's just keep going down the line. Anurapoda. You're a precious little bean. Like a little dragon. Let me put you up here on my references. Another Vroid model. I'm always excited when I see more Vroid models out there in the world. I remember when I was first like looking into VTubing, and this was like well over a year ago at this point. I was like assuming that Live 2D was my only option, because I was only really aware of like 3D as something that was like really complicated, like probably got thousands of dollars to do anything in terms of 3D. So I was always in the mindset of being like, oh, I have to do Live 2D or do PNG tubing, if that is something I wanted to start off with. And that was my plan always, is like start with PNG tubing, and then as time goes on, probably go about doing Live 2D model. And then one day, as I was like, because my plan was I wanted to like make my own 2D model. Because I can draw, figure I can learn how to rig. It felt possible. But then a tutorial fell into my lap one day, and it was someone being like, hey, here's this thing called Vroid, and here's how you can work with it in a way that pivots a model away from the more traditional like anime look. And I was like, that aligns with what I'm interested in, because it's like, it's not that anime look is bad, but it just was not aligning with what I was kind of wanting in terms of a visual style. And it actually took a while before I made a model that I felt like happy with, but I just didn't even know Vroid was an option. I'd only heard about Live 2D, because that was a lot of what I was seeing in terms of VTubing. But it was so exciting to be like, oh, I can just make a model, and it just runs. And it's so funny looking back at the models I had made, like how the tracking looked even before using XR Animator like I do now. Wait, this is Vroid? This is Vroid. It is. This is a model I made initially over a year ago at this point, but I like have just gently been fine-tuning it over time to be more in line with like more of like the like Professor Layton style, which is kind of what I was going for initially, but that like not quite Ripper Hose, but definitely more Western cartoon. But yeah, this is a Vroid. And I think the only thing I've actually paid for on this model that you can't even see right now is like a shirt on one of the models I have in my system. The head mod is amazing. The eyes seem different from the villain ones. A lot of it's just because of the retexturing. Like the whites of the eye, I've like recolored and like been very strategic about how the way the blush goes over the face so it doesn't make it too clear where the actual eye white is supposed to be. And like a lot of the times when you're seeing like VTubers, a lot of times the eyes are really complicated, which is a fun reason like why like just the completely solid eyes feels very distinct in VTuber land, because you're often seeing like very complex eyes and these are just very flat. But yeah, like this is in theory a fun example of different things you can do within the VTubing space. The power of stylizing. My god, is it a boon. Also, like, I think the hair is vanilla. The bangs are like a modded version of something I pulled off of Booth. But yeah, it's just a lot of fussing with it. Now you have a very gentle little skirt that is very cute that I want to try and incorporate in here. But yeah, there's a lot of tutorials on YouTube for working with Booth. And actually, let me see. Do I have it? No, I know I don't. There's a model, the very first model I ever made with Vroid. I still have. I would need to rebuild it in Vroid in order to get the Hana tools on it, which is like the Vroid version of ARKit on it. So and unfortunately right now I wouldn't really be able to like run it. But the very first model I ever made in Vroid was awful. It was so bad. Like, I keep it to this day to serve as a reminder of like what like a difference it can make when you really stick with something to try and actually like learn and grow your skill. Because it's like working with Vroid, like it is like a skill you have to develop if you want to really like make something interesting or unique. I've got a Vroid model right now that's almost done. There's just like one last tweak that has to happen from the artist on it, but like you can make some really interesting shit with Vroid if you're willing to learn how to make it bend to your own whim. And the very first model I ever made did not do that. It was bad. I think I literally call it beta form because it's unfortunate. It was something I had made before I had realized that I wanted to do the solid like black or brown eye. Because for a while when I was just making a design was sticking with a gray eye. Because that's just what I'd always done whenever I made like a Sona of myself in the past, was I had done a gray eyes. And it gave me so much trouble. Like literally the last thing I figured out on my design was the way I wanted to do the eyes. Because it's such a like important thing in VTubers designs, I feel like. Because like it's something you're looking at a lot of the time. It is a great way to communicate to an audience kind of what your personality is, things you're interested in, how you like to stylize things. It's like the easiest way to do something really unique on your model is to make unique eyes. And sometimes that means doing very simple eyes. This is the wrong color. Now, here's the thing. I'm seeing this green on the skirt, but I can't tell if it's a hollow effect or if it's like a green layer. Love how much care and Crowd put into them all. Thank you. I really like the artistic aspect of VTubing. Like, it's just fun. And I remember I had a very brief stint last year when I was between jobs and I was considering applying to agencies, because there were some like applications running around, like some agencies who had open auditions, and I was like, you know, if I wanted to do an agency, would I be willing to give up my like current design, current model, to pick up something that the agency wanted me to fulfill, like a role they wanted me to fulfill? And the answer for at least myself was no, which I feel like some people would be like, why, like, be confused about that. I feel like some people would get it, but it's just like, one of the big things for me, at least, that like I like with VTubing for myself is that ability to like have your own character kind of form this identity with this thing and just be able to make my own little stuff, and it's very fun. It makes me very excited. I've gently crafted this little design, and I'm currently working on a lore video, and I've finally gotten the story and like the location in that narrative that I want to focus on like figured out, which I'm very excited about, because I've had this like idea in my head for a bit, but I've not been able to figure out where I wanted to like put like the perspective in terms of a lore video. And I think I figured it out, but now I need to do the actual hard part, that is storyboarding and drawing and deciding how I want to present it. Because I had the idea that, oh, I could do like a, what's it called? I could hire someone to do a little bit of voice acting and like read this passage that I have. And then I looked up the prices that it is to like hire somebody to do voice acting, at least in terms of industry standards. And it's more than I would want to spend on voice acting right now. So either A, I would just have to be willing to undercharge, which I don't really think I want to do. B, voice act myself, which we would have to see how I feel about that when the time comes. Or then the C, which is not do voice acting at all and just do like a video game where it's just like which I'm kind of gravitating towards, because I was thinking about presenting it like a video game. But that is a ways away, and in theory might align with the 2D model that I've had in the works since April of last year. I commissioned March. I have a 2D model, it's been in the works since March, that the artist has just been busy and has not been able to complete yet. But I'm not in a rush with it, so I have no qualms with that, as long as it is good. By the end of it, take as much time as you need. I'm very excited about it. They're on the rigging phase finally, and it's looking good so far. But I'm curious to see how it's going to continue to progress. Seen some stuff like night novels and then doing the grunts and exclamations. I won't go too much into detail with it right now, because fun little surprises and everything. But if the script I have currently maintains the way that it is for the lore video, if I don't really change it, it's going to be presented like someone reading a story, like a story. Like someone reading a children's book is like the way it's going to kind of be like. So it's less going to be like a scene and more like the intro to a video game. Like if you've seen the start of Undertale, kind of like that, where it's like something ambient is like reading a story. Rigging getting a 2D. I'm getting another 2D. I got a 2D one last year. A chibi model that I've had for a bit, but I'm getting another. I'm calling it the 2.0, a proper full-sized model that I'm very excited about. Different artists though, so I definitely prefer doing the VTubing in 3D form. I always feel like whenever I do 2D, I always am like, oh, my hands aren't a thing. Hands are not up and doing things. But I still enjoy doing live 2D every once in a while, and so I have wanted to get one for a bit. And it tends to be a lot easier to find somebody willing to work with my character design in live 2D versus 3D, because I have reached out to multiple 3D model artist riggers, and they see my hooves and they say, no thank you, have a good day. And I say, understandable, goodbye. The person who I commissioned for my upcoming Vroid model did a really wonderful job with the hooves. So I was very excited when I finally got somebody who's willing to give a crack at it. And I was like, I don't care. You can simplify them as much as you need. Just don't make it just straight up people feet. Like, just don't just leave it feet, but literally you can just make a shoe. You can just create a shoe and put like a color over it that looks like a hoof. You can do that. People are rarely seeing the feet anyway, it's fine. But yeah, people see the feet and they're like, I don't want to mess with that. Hell no. And that's reasonable, because I've tried to make hooves in 2D and it's hard. It's hard in Vroid. It don't want to do it. So I don't blame them, but it make me sad because I'm like, your art's so good. Please draw model. Please make model. I pay you money, and they say no, thank you. I have enough customers, and I go, okay, goodbye. I go sad, and I go somewhere else. One of these days, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out how to make good hooves in Vroid, and it's gonna be the day that they introduce hooves as an option. It's a combination of hooves and digigrade legs. Those are very hard to make happen, at least in base Vroid. I bet you could fairly readily just get the VRM, get it out of Vroid, and then just fuck with it in Blender, which I haven't done yet. And I feel like if I took the time to learn Blender and learn how I can modify my Vroid model, the game would skyrocket. Like I found, in theory, info that I can use in order to get ear rigging and make it so that I can get them to like move in tandem with other movements, like with the eyebrow movements. I can have them go up and down. If I could get that figured out, oh. But I just haven't taken the time yet to sit down and actually learn it because it's complicated. Also, animations. There's like a whole channel that like makes animations specifically for VRM models, and I just haven't figured out how to apply them to mine in Unity. I need to find one, like someone who uses Blender to make mods. I remember once thinking about a comma Vroid. I'm a Cyclops that requires a different head. That does require a different head. That would be a bitch to figure out. I was about to recommend the person who's doing my Vroid, Crow Creates, who's both on Blue Sky and Twitter. Don't know about Cyclops though. That would be, I don't know how you would pull that off. It'd definitely have to be like Blender or something. But yeah, that would be hard. I don't know how you would do that. Because obviously just putting a eye patch on is not going to have the same effect as a Cyclops would. That would be an interesting challenge. What did I just do? No. Yeah, I thought I moved something, but it does not appear that I have. You here. Then you have a cute thing around your eyes that I feel like I'm not gonna be able to pull off because I put this over your eyeball. But I can kind of jerry rig something. Very deep little purple. Wait, I'm a fool. Do this. Yeah, little plushies. Okay, that's good enough. I can work with that. Oh, you have little shoulders. I'm going to make your backpack look like dragon scales. Because I can. Speaking of live 2D, I have actually been trying to learn how to rig. And I've rigged a couple very small models in live 2D so far. They don't look half bad. They're very stylized. And none of them have very, like, complicated mouth or, like, eye rigging. But they're adorable. One of them is, like, a doll form of my VTuber. Another one is a familiar of a friend's D&D character. I don't know how to refer to him. He's a little... He's a doll, and he's not a haunted doll, but he does contain a portion of the soul of the character who owns him. So he's kind of haunted. And he does make little mouth sounds that sound like a dog who's like breathing wetly. So he's a cursed little guy, but he's very precious, and he has a knife. He has little fingers. A wizard gave him the fingers and regretted doing so. But he's perfect, and he's a little chumby. And I had to use him as a muse to practice rigging because he was just a little guy, and I figured he would be simple. And in theory he was, and in some ways he wasn't, but it was a good way to practice unique things to do. Like opposable thumbs. Yes, he used to not have thumbs. He does now. Like, he used to just have little, like, nubs, and then, like, fingers form, so he can grip things now. And so far, he hasn't done anything yet that's concernable. But a mechanic of his that hasn't come into play yet, because thankfully barbarians are hard to kill, is that if the barbarian ever dies, the rest of his soul is gonna go into the puppet, and the puppet's gonna start heading back to its maker, which is not something we want to happen. We want to have happen, but thankfully he's not very fast, so in theory we could catch him, but it is a concern that we have to be aware of, because he could move very quickly if he wanted to. Okay, you have legs that are interesting. I don't know if I'll really be able to do much with the other one. Let's see. It's like this leg over here is covered in like a little thing. Oh wait, you have little shoes. Let me do these instead, actually. You got little shoes. I'll make these purple, because that is what is asked. Little high tops. That is one of the sad things about having a model that has hooves, is that when I find cute shoes on Booth, I can't really use them. They don't really work with the feet. And I can't implement them, but then I have to get rid of the feet. And it's hard. It's very ironic because I used to work in the shoe industry. Like, literally lost a job at Nike and then got picked up by Adidas like a month later, because I had worked in the industry before, and they were like, do you want to work with us? And I was like, yeah, I'd like to get paid. I'd like to have a career. That'd be nice. I'd like to be paid to do things. And they were like, come here. And I was like, okay, I will do that. Thank you. It was lucky until I ended up getting let go again, because Kanye West was a thing, and the company was like, we are not losing money because of losing our thing with him. And then they had to let go like 30% of their workforce. And it was a nightmare. What color do you want to be? Here we go, this will work. Yeah. It's a whole story. I got fucked around by corporate shoe companies for about 3 years. And now I work in the funeral industry, which is a weird pipeline, but it is what it is. Okay, is this it? It's always very funny to be able to like enter a conversation about past work and be like, yeah, I lost my job because of Kanye West. It's a great conversation starter because it immediately is like, okay, you have to explain all of that. But yeah, before working at Adidas, knew very little about Kanye West. After working at Adidas, I knew way too much about Kanye West and did not want to learn pretty much any of it. But there have been so many meetings I had been in that were about him that I was like, I'm so sick of this man and his bullshit. And then well, the funny thing is I got laid off, and then I got rehired, had to sign an NDA for a thing because of Kanye West. And then when that project was done, I got laid off again. Limiting against your will. Exactly, literally. I was forced to learn about him. I was forced to look at his ugly ass shoes that a surprising amount of people around the office wore that I thought were like literally, I don't remember what they were called, but he had a shoe that looked like if you took a pair of Crocs, put them into a bucket of acid, and then pulled them out as they're like were starting to blister and swell and starting to decay, and then you like let them like sit out and you sprayed them with something so that the reaction would stay. So there were these like bloated, distorted, just carcasses basically, and people wore them. The people paid for them. Like my past job at Adidas, I described as selling ugly shoes for people who had way too much money. Because that was what was most of my job, was selling a lot of really ugly shoes for way too much money that people got into like little auction rooms to purchase. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Go get a hobby, please. Please do anything else. And it's very funny because when you're in that atmosphere, you learn very quickly whether or not you're going to be somebody who's going to like conform or be sucked into the like expensive shoe collecting haze. Because I had a coworker who was like, you gotta get something, you gotta get some shoes. And I was sitting there as like someone who had not purchased shoes for like 10 years, because I'm just like, I get the pair I like and I live in them until they die and I have to get a new pair. And I did end up getting a couple pairs of shoes that year, but that was only because we got access to like 60% off sales in our like employee like storage, which is the only reason. And I was also only getting the shoes that were like lower priced that were available that I liked. Actually, the shoe I have right now are falling apart. I've never had a pair of shoes fall apart this quickly. But I've been debating if I want to try and go and get another pair, or if I want to try and make another pair of shoes I have break in. But they're falling apart and I'm sad because I like them a lot, and they got like really thick soles so I can feel tall, kind of. But yeah, when I worked at Nike, did not buy shoes. They did not give us any discounts. Worked at Adidas, bought multiple pairs of shoes. Because they gave us the big discounts, and I was like, fuck yeah. I also didn't hate my job, which I did at Nike, because I worked in IT and it sucked. We have another person right now. We have Copper Vaskin Rousset. I'm hoping I said that right, but very pretty little moth VTuber. Mothman's distant Finnish cousin. I adore her, she's very pretty. We're gonna see if I can do moth wings. This might be my last one, and this might be the final gusto I have, because it's about 2 hours right now, which means an ad break is coming soon. Probably, so look out for that. We're gonna do this lovely little green color as the base. I love a good lunar moth. Just a good character design. I made a character design once that was a fairy, but it was like the body was like a rat, but the way the fur was textured was like a sheep. It was very like fluffy wool like, but it had these long lunar moth wings, and I really liked the design. It was a very fun challenge. About to get midnight eyes getting heavy. You gotta go to bed. It's the middle of the week. You gotta sleep. You gotta take care of yourself. I've been ordered recently by psychiatrists to get better sleep because I thought I was dealing with ADHD. Turns out chronic insomnia, which is not good. We gotta go pass out. Take care. Thanks for stopping by, GG. Hope you have a wonderful night. Thank you for hanging out. I'll need to double check if I follow you on Blue Sky, because I don't know if I do. But thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a lovely evening and a wonderful rest of the week. Because yeah, I don't think I'm streaming the rest of this week, so next stream is probably Monday, or maybe Sunday if I feel frisky, but have a nice night. I'm gonna do GG, and then I think I will wrap up as well. This has been a fun stream. I don't think I will do more. I don't think this will encourage me to do more art streams in the future. Because it's not. I will say this is not my favorite way to stream. I think I prefer the games because I feel like I'm a little disconnected. Because I prefer to do art by just spacing out and focusing on the art. But this is a nice medium because it's working with a template, and I don't really have to think all that much. I just have to look and I have to do, which I can do pretty easily. But yeah, it was fun to finally do this. I'm glad I actually did this because I was unsure if I was actually going to go through with this because I just kept getting sick, and today I wasn't feeling good with the work nonsense that was happening. And I was just like, I just want to do this. I feel bad when I do active like advertising on like platforms. So I'm still a very small streamer. Like I don't really have. I'm trying to build back up a regular streaming schedule. But like this past month, I think has been like the most like consistent activity I've had from like people watching the stream, which has been very cool. But it makes me feel bad when I like say like, hey, I'm gonna stream today, and then I end up having to cancel for whatever reason. Because it's like I like the idea of being able to like build up a more like active and consistent community, but it does require me to be consistent on my own end and make a reliable space for people to be able to watch the stream. We got an ad coming. I don't see anybody in chat, so I think we're okay. I think we're safe from people having to deal with the 3-minute ads. And that's okay. Okay, let's see about giving you some color. I've definitely been enjoying streaming more these past few months. I had such like a weird period last year where I was like streaming because I had really nothing else to do because work stuff wasn't working out, and then actually working again and not knowing how to balance any of that out. But I felt a lot better recently after having taken the time to really be like, what do I want out of streaming? What are my goals? What am I trying to get here? And I just feel like I'm having a fun time again. But sometimes you gotta cancel streams because your buddies want to hang out and you want to hang out with your buddies. That's okay. I'm not a corporate VTuber. I don't have a big old fandom that's like, yippee! The stream this week is happening. Oh no, it got canceled last second. Which does unfortunately mean if I do ever get popular in the future, if I do get more of a following, I will have to change how I want to utilize the stream, because this is just a hobby for me. Like, a lot of decisions I make is, oh, I'm doing this thing, or I'm thinking about doing this thing. Well, it's just a hobby. Do I really want to justify spending $300 on someone talking for like 30 seconds for a lore video? You know what? No. Just not in the budget for me right now. Not in the budget. And I am not at a point yet where I really want to drop that kind of money on that kind of thing. And that's okay. I need to shift you down. I'm not super happy with these ears, but we'll see. You are like this. But that does mean with like artistic stuff like that, it does encourage me to try. Like right now I'm working on new like starting screen arts. I am attempting to draw backgrounds. And it's not turning out bad yet, and I'm actually having a lot of fun like fussing around with like different ideas. The stream has been a very fun way for me to explore artistic things that I've been curious about but not really done in the past. Okay, you wear this color. Oh, you stretching, bud? What are you looking at? Oh, you're so tired. You're so tired, BB. BB Bean. BB Bean, what's wrong? You sleepy? You hungry? It is approaching supper time for you. It is almost time. Not time yet, so you don't get to start complaining yet. BB Bean. I forget if the thing coming up is daylight savings or the other one. Forget if the next clock change is going to be making it later or earlier, but for my cat's sake, I'm hoping that it means that dinner time will come sooner. Because boy, she gets mad when food comes later than she wants it to. But she will live. She got very spoiled because I was gone for like multiple weekends in a row. So I would just set her feeder to like run more often because I couldn't give her like her wet food in the evening. So she got very used to getting extra food, but she was expecting the food I normally give her on top of that. And someone was getting a little chunky. But I put an end to that fun, sadly. You fold over like this. Yeah, she seems to have mostly chill out, but like last night she was like, hey, wait a minute, I expect a little extra food right now. Meanwhile, it was very much not time yet. Oh, you have little... Oh, I'm silly. Oh, I'm completely silly. I completely misinterpreted what these ear things were. These were antenna. I was like, it's like the little flappy flaps. No, these are antenna. I completely misinterpreted this. My apologies, whatever your name is. Hopper. Hopper's a cute name. That's an adorable name. I like that. 15. So you actually need to go back here because these are gonna go forward. You go here. And you go here. Yeah, these will go here. And you kind of flare up. I'm actually gonna draw the bulk of these here, and then I'm just gonna color it in. Welcome back, ad viewers. Hope your ad experience was tolerable. One thing I really wish that you could do, because the way like the ad manager thing works, is it lets you decide if you want to give the ad stuff like the option of just like running ads like beneath instead of like really being obtrusive to the content. I wish you could just have that be what it is all the time or more. Ash, hello! You missed yours. Welcome to stream. I drew you earlier. Let me find you. I drew you earlier, you little hairs. Welcome to stream. I'm actually going to be wrapping up soon, but thank you for stopping by. You got your little guy. Your little buddy, your little friend. How has your evening been? How has the day been treating you? I'm hoping at least the evening was good, because it feels like everybody today has been like, day sucked. Including myself, day sucked majorly, but thankfully the evening is here as a respite. I'm gonna do a little grading with these because it's fun. Please send to me. Yes, I will. I will do that after stream. I'm gonna be yeeting this onto everybody's little replies. Gotta get the little guys. Please do not jump on my lap right now. We're literally almost done with stream, and you have been so good all stream. My cat has been like, I'm going to get in your way at the most inconvenient times possible today. And true to her word, that is what happened. Okay, she's going behind maybe. Maybe I'm safe. Maybe we're good. Maybe we're good. I like this better. I just realized I forgot all day because I've not been in a mindset to listen to funny music. Yellowcur, the folk style storyteller guy, I think released more music today. I haven't listened yet because I've been busy. Because being busy sucks. I need to listen tonight. Hey. Kitty, we're almost done. We're almost done with stream. I know. You're okay. I'm down. Kitty. You go by some or anything like that. Hilariously, the amount of people who have just looked at my nickname, it's very funny because I initially online just went by Semageon. People looked at the name and just decided Sema, and so I said, okay, we go by Sema now. And then after that, people would look at Sema and go, Sem. So both are appropriate. I typically introduce myself as Sema. Both work. But it's been very funny the amount of people who have looked at the name and been like, Sem, we need to shorten it even further. We're taking more letters from you. Just cracked me up a lot. But yeah, Sem or Sema is fine. Oh, I need to color you like this. Here we go. I get Ash. Axie? It's Axle. Oh, it gets written in an I. Interesting. I wish I could say I get it, but no, it's an L. Axle. I don't get it. It's very clearly an L. I don't know if I've even heard the word Axie before as like a name. That's a new one. That is interesting that happens. I need to zoom in. You have a little necklace on you. I need to draw it correctly. Where do I want to draw you? Maybe on this lower level, so I can... I need to make this line even more delicate. I don't know what happens so much. People need to improve their reading comprehension. Because a lot of the times when I hear people be like, oh, I get this, like, this misread. I get it. That one I don't get. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. guess maybe there's just a lot of odd names in the VTuber space that they're just like, alright, Axie, sure. But yeah, that I don't know if I can logic out. Yeah. Here we go. There we go. I don't know if this looks good or if this looks bad. That works. All happens with my friend Cupgoody. Yeah, that one does make more sense. I see Goodle, but I can see like you like looking at it quickly and it's like Cupgoody. It rolls well. AshaAxle, I don't know about that. Axle makes a lot more sense, I feel like. Okay, you go down here. And oh, it's a choker. Oh, I can't do that. Too late in the design process to make that work. Apologies, Copper. I didn't zoom in enough. I made a mistake. Fucked up. Get the pendant in though. Do it. Little light. This is something I actually want to practice. I want to get better at rendering gemstones. Because I'm not very good at it. Or at least I don't think I have very much skill in it yet. And a new design that I have that has not been debuted. Oh, it's a butterfly. Fuck, it had a shape. But a new design that I have that a 3D model is just about done. Uses a lot of opal, which is beautiful, and the artist did a fantastic job rendering it, but I'm like, I can't render opal. I always just grab like an image of an opal and then just layer it over an image. Just color. The cheater way to get opal rendering. Works every time. I have too many characters that have opals incorporated into aspects of their character design for me to not really know how to render it well in my own way. I think this does not look like Copper at all. This doesn't look like her at all. Let me see if I can save this with a little bit of like hair. Let's try one more thing. Because I don't think I want to try and render the wings right now because I feel like I'm like mentally done with arting right now. You have a big old bang. Nope, we're not doing hair. Nope. Tried, failed, not going well. I might not I might not even post this because I feel embarrassed now. I don't like this. I don't think this was as good as it could have been, but I have like lost steam. I am just going to wrap this up by putting these little like wrist bangles on the legs. Be done with this. We've touched the sun. We've come back. Yeah, this will have to suffice. Let me fuse everything together. Let me damn this to its current form. Alright. I think that is it. Let me go back to chat and screen to wrap everything up. Oh, I'm very tall. Why is that happening? I think I'm on the wrong version of VC face for this model. There we go. Alright, that's stream, baby. I will post the little guys to the Twitters and the Blue Skies respectively. But thanks for hanging out tonight. Thanks for stopping by, Ash. I hope you have a lovely rest of the evening, but I'm going to pop off. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop off. I do not have the energy to raid right now. But have a nice night. Let me find my goodbye buttons. There they are. Bye!